Okay, welcome to the our regular select board meeting, 6 o'clock, October 18th. And first thing is announcements from the chair, and I have nothing. And the next item on here, well, actually, I just will say one thing. It's going to be a very short meeting. We're just taking care of a couple of business items here. It should be a very short meeting, and we're looking forward to, after this meeting, Neil and I anyway, meeting with our builders or engineers for our public safety building.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to see something start happening. I mean, things have been happening in the background, but now we're going to see things really happen. So, Citizens Open Forum. Anybody here to speak for Citizens Open Forum?
I got to do the minutes.
Oh, you got to do the minutes, yeah, sorry.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes from October 4th, 2023, meeting of the Lenox Select Board.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Citizens Open Forum. Anybody here, any Lenox residents that want to address the board? Seeing none, I'm sorry, go ahead. Just, if you can step up to the microphone, just to identify yourself.
Well, I'd rather not. I can speak pretty loud.
No, that's for the people at home on the TV.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do,
Say that, didn't
has
you?
nothing to do with us.
You just have to state your name and your address.
Hi, my name's Elaine Dalgus, and I live at 72 Plunkett. I'm relatively a new neighbor here, and I don't know really what goes on at Seven Hills. But a few times this past summer, I live after the hotel, after the first house after the street that goes down to the lake. And the music, boom, 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 you could hear, the music you could hear, it wasn't rattling the house, but it was loud, and it was late.
Could I just stop you for 1 second? That's going to be, we have a public hearing about Seven Hills and their alcohol license.
Isn't that what this?
It's a little bit later in the agenda. And you'll get a chance to speak then, trust me. Thank you. I didn't want you to wear it out now. I wanted you to get it at the right time.
It was a practice run. You did great.
I don't want to get up there again.
Yeah, but you might get more than 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes, that's all I get up.
Well, on this side.
Okay, moving right along, we'll go to the consent agenda. The one item on the consent agenda is a one-day wine and malt license request. Heather Barbieri is looking for a one-day all-alcoholic license for Benford Hall, and she is tip certified, all the paperwork's in order. The event is 5 to 7 p.m. And not much to say about it, but everything's all the way it should be.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the next thing on the agenda is, and after you come in, is a public hearing for Seven Hills Restaurant at, or Seven Hills Inn at 40 Plunkett Street. And they are requesting an all-alcoholic inn holder's license. And I assume there's somebody here from Seven Hills that can fill us in on what's going on.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin on behalf of the applicant.
Can you speak up a little? No, not there, just,
In my voice?
yes,
For
thank
him,
you.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, this isn't even working. This is an application for a new liquor license and for the approval of a management agreement with Columbia Hospitality. The new owners of the hotel took over over a year ago, and they weren't sure if they wanted to keep the liquor license there or transfer it. So rather than doing a transfer of license, this is an application for a new license. The one that prior owner should be either turning it in or not renewing for 2024, depending which happens first. But the layout is completely the same. The operations will run completely the same. They're not changing the structure of the hotel or anything like that. It'll be the same licensed areas as the previous owners. With me is Yvonne Walton in the back. She is the proposed manager of record. She has over 20 years of experience in the food and beverage and hospitality industry. So she is best for the job here and has been working in this town for quite some time. And we're happy to answer any questions that you have. I did hear your first concern. I'm gonna have Yvonne come up here too, just as a little backup with me in case she knows more details of what's going on around here. But we're happy to answer any questions that you have for us.
I've got a question.
Okay, let me just start off, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
All
Chairman.
right. Thank
Absolutely.
you, thank you.
Okay.
So Seven Hills has had a license for years and years and years, and I understand it's a change of ownership and management.
Yes.
So their license will become null and void if we approve yours.
Yes, so they will need to either turn in their license or it won't get, because of the renewal time, it will either not get renewed for 2024 or they will turn it in, whichever comes first. If they want to turn it in tomorrow, hopefully they will. If not, they just won't renew for
Okay.
2024.
Understood, and I talked to Deanna, and she's gone through all the paperwork, all full inch of it.
Yeah.
And everything, as far as the paperwork is, we can feel confident, is completely in order. I'm sure there's, and I don't want to steal any of Dave's thunder or any of our audience, I'm sure there's some concerns about noise, hours of operation, that kind of thing. So if we can just get into that, that would be good. David?
So you're applying for a liquor license tonight,
Correct.
not the entertainment license?
Correct.
Okay, so the entertainment license is what maybe some of the people are here to talk about, as opposed to the liquor license, which allows them to serve liquor in their establishment. When do you expect that you'll be applying for an entertainment license?
Shortly.
Sure.
Yeah, we currently have an entertainer's license. It would be after renewal in December.
So you do have it. Okay.
So,
But it would be under new management.
It'd be under new
and
management.
Ownership, so you'd have to apply for.
You have to apply for a new
not
one.
just renew it.
Yeah, we will do that.
okay. So let me ask you another question. Is there any chance that you could sit down or have a forum with the neighbors down there? Because we also have a letter from another neighbor, and discuss their concerns about your entertainment and tell them what you plan to do, and maybe,
It's a good idea.
Like in the Butters meeting?
yeah, making a butters meeting. It's not required, but it would make the life a lot easier if you could sit down and directly talk with these people.
Yes, I think the hotel
Yeah.
would definitely be willing to do
Okay.
something like that.
Cost you a cup of coffee and maybe a lot of headache, a
Yeah.
lot less headaches, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
See, we have a lot of inns in town, and they're all in different areas. This is basically a neighborhood. I know it's a commercial venture and all that, it's been there for years, but it is in a neighborhood. You have neighbors close by, so it's something
Yeah.
we're just giving you advice, you should address
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I actually did receive an email regarding that event. That actually was not us. It was an event that happened at the Mount. We both had weddings at the same time. We had a silent disco that night, so everybody had on their own headphones. You couldn't even hear what they were doing, and the Mount actually had music going. So when I got the email, I was like, that actually wasn't us.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think that's still why an informal and open conversation with the butters and neighbors would be, advisable. We can't tell you to do that.
Right.
But, it's always great to get along with your neighbors and have your neighbors feel like they can reach out to you with concerns and not feel like it's a confrontational thing. I mean, as Ed said, we have so many different establishments in town in different types of locations. We have some of them that have alcohol licenses that go to certain hours, but the entertainment cuts off sooner, or whether it's outdoors versus indoors. I mean, there's so many different nuances to it that I think it'd be great for you folks to think it through and welcome your neighbors to share their concerns or talk.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd love to hear from anybody who wants to speak.
I'm a neighbor, and I just have a couple of...
Could you go?
Sure.
Just identify yourself. It's mainly for the camera, so you identify yourself.
Sure. Do you need to go over
Yeah,
there?
yeah, thank you.
Fine.
So they can hear you at home.
Sure. My name is Peter D'Ambrosio. I live at 37 Laurel Lake Road, which, if you take a right on Laurel Lake, I'm the first house on the left. So I'm technically a neighbor. I'm not sure that my property actually abuts Seven Hills, because I'm on the other side of the road.
It's close enough.
Right, I got the notice, and I just had a couple of questions. They probably are applicable to the entertainment license in light of your comments, sir. But as long as we're having a meeting, perhaps that we could get some information. My first question is, I'd like to know specifically when the entertainment license is up for renewal, because I know that there are probably legal requirements in terms of the timing of the notice, but I only got the notice of the public hearing within the last 10 days. It came by registered mail, which I assume is proper. But for an entertainment license for a neighborhood, as Mr. Lane points out, this is a little different kettle of fish than Miraval or, one of the larger organizations. So I'd like to know, number one, when the entertainment license is up for renewal. Number two, where could I find out what the requirements are in terms of noise? Is it a certain decibel level? Is it certain times of the day? My understanding, I've lived here now since 2009, and I've heard about 15 different stories in terms of whether it has to stop at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, what the details are. And number three, what is the enforcement mechanism in Lenox for noise problems? I certainly concur with what my neighbor said a few moments ago, but one of the things about living in our neighborhood is you get Miraval, Mount, and also Seven Hills parties, or events, if you want to call it that. And I have yet to figure out how to find out whether the noise ordinances or bylaws are being adhered to, and if they're not, who do I talk to? And hopefully you're not going to tell me I have to call the police, because I can't imagine that there isn't a more reasonable alternative. But anyway, with all those things in mind, I'd appreciate the information.
If you could leave your name with Deanna, I'll get that information for you, and I'll call you tomorrow or the next day and give you those details. But you folks have to realize, because we issue you a liquor permit or a entertainment permit, it's not a God-given right. It's a privilege you have. And if it's a problem, we have the authority to call you in here and change the hours of it. So that's what it boils down to. If there are issues, we can change it here. It comes, a meeting, come in and we can do it. So there is some relief for the neighbors if there is a problem.
Well, what I was thinking of was on the night that it occurs, I mean, you guys obviously have other things to do. If there's an event where the noise is loud or goes late into the evening, and I define that by past 11 o'clock, who do you call?
You'd have to call the police.
You have to call the cops.
We don't have people that
Enforcement
do
power.
that.
No, I didn't know whether
Yeah.
there was some other mechanism. I appreciate the police are always an option.
Yeah, that's the option. We don't have staff that's gonna monitor.
Yeah, I was thinking of just something other than the police.
Well, yeah, I mean, to add to that, there's so many different elements to noise regulations. Establishments typically have to come to us individually for entertainment and outdoor entertainment and hours of operation and alcohol serving, all those types of things. Because noise could take the form of simply noisy people drinking outside.
Right.
So, we regulate the hours and try to be appropriate to the neighborhood and things like that. As an example, people have been concerned about construction noise after hours and things like that. So we recently put in place an ordinance for regulating construction activity and how loud it can be. But there's no sort of default number or standard that says 80 decibels is too loud and the police show up and shut you down if it's 80 or 90 or this, because it's so subjective depending on how far you are from the fence line. So
I was thinking of more the hours. I understand that you can get.
And that has been
the West Stockbridge issue about noise in the restaurant, I think is a lesson to all of us that there's no objective test for noise. But let me ask it this way. Does the entertainment license indicate what the hours of events that can, in other words, an event has to start?
With the entertainment license, we can dictate the time they have to stop. I mean, we can't say the party has to be over, but no loud noise, no music, that kind of thing.
Right, and if I were to look at the entertainment license that exists now, I would be able to tell when the event's supposed to stop.
Yep.
Okay, and then as to noise related to that, how is that spelled out in the license, or is it spelled out in the town bylaw?
You mean decibels, or
Well, whatever it is, sir, I don't know what the, it could be hours.
it'd be hours? That would be in the entertainment license, the hours of operation,
And that would.
the hours of entertainment.
And that would include the noise aspect?
Well, if they're not having entertainment, there shouldn't be too much noise.
Right, well, I'm just saying, it's the same thing that was
Yeah, yeah,
applied to
same
the
thing.
event and the associated noise.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Dave, you had another comment?
I do. I just want to say that Seven Hills has been a good business and a good neighbor to the town for over 70 years. And I have no reason to believe that it will not continue to be a good neighbor and a good business for the town. So, I want you to work with the neighbors as best as possible.
Definitely.
But Seven Hills is a valuable asset to the town of Lenox, and I like to continue to see it that way.
Absolutely. And the new owners are excited to be a part of this community and to carry on everything that the prior owners had, not changing anything. It's really just ownership change. There's going to be no operational changes to the
Okay.
hotel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna turn it over to you now.
Here we go.
We're not talking entertainment now. This is drinking, and my biggest concern, is this going to be like it was with, it's not an open bar that someone can drop in, it's just for guests that are staying there?
Correct, guests and events.
I don't
That's
know,
what
if we give a license, don't they have
They
to
can
go?
do, no,
That could be a
that's
restaurant.
that's their intent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Max, you know more, you know this.
It could be a restaurant at some point, but a liquor license would allow them to, right now, I don't think they're set up to, there's not an operating restaurant there now, but there could be. The liquor license wouldn't prohibit that.
So it could happen.
That's the
That's
state,
what
that's
I
the
don't-
state's
I mean,
regulation
I didn't
too.
move- I didn't want to be on the street, but people pulling in to drink and leave and drunk and all that, you know?
It's been, I said.
That's how it's been. It's been the same. What we're applying for now is the same that it has been for, like you said, 70 years. Like it's been, this isn't a new license that is gonna change anything of how the hotel was
So I,
run.
as a neighbor, couldn't drop in
That's a state.
and have a
Yeah,
drink.
yeah.
It goes with it, yeah.
If you wanted
If one might let you.
to.
I'm just, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel confident it's not gonna turn into a roadhouse or a.
No, it's gonna be the
Rowdy
same.
spot.
It's going to be it's gonna be run the same way.
Yeah.
But we do keep an eye on those things, so don't worry. So is there anybody else that wants to speak from the audience? Did we open that public hearing?
No, we got to open the public hearing.
Dave, quick.
We gotta say all this over again. I apologize, we should have opened the public hearing and then closed the public hearing. So everything was just said is, we don't have to say it again.
Just pretend I said this first.
Okay.
Notice is hereby given that a hearing will be held by the Selectboard in their capacity as licensing board on an application for an annual all-alcoholic in-holders license, which has been filed with the local licensing board by Lodge Food and Beverage, Lenox, Mass, LLC, DBA, Seven Hills Inn, Yvonne Walton, manager for the premises located at 40 Plunkett Street, Lenox, and consisting of first floor of the hotel known as Seven Hills Inn, including library, formal dining room, parlor, music room, banquet room, and a veranda. The square footage of the indoor areas where the liquor will be served is equal to 5,998 square feet, and the veranda has 1,105 square feet. The board will act on said application on Wednesday, October 18th, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the Select Board Meeting Room, Town Hall Building, Lenox, Mass. Ed Lane, Chair, Lenox Select Board.
I would move to second that we open the public hearing, and with everybody's, I guess, tacit approval, I'd like to acknowledge that all the things that you presented and that the neighbors have said should be included in what we would have
Yes.
normally done after your announcement.
So is there anybody in the audience that wants us to re-say everything that was just said, or are we all good?
We're good.
Thank you. Okay. So now we'll close the
Yes.
public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And now we'll vote on the application.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the all alcoholic inn holders license application for Lodge Food and Beverage Lenox, Mass. LLC, DBA Seven Hills Inn, dated September 13th, 2023.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And it passes, and good luck to you, and, I hope you keep the tradition that's been there all this time going.
Been there for 15 months, so yes.
Okay, good, good.
Thank you.
Actually, Max is the person who drew me down there when he was the,
Oh, really?
yeah.
All right, good.
One question, for
Yeah.
when we do apply for the new entertainment license, that does require a local hearing?
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
And do you need to send, we'll coordinate a separate abutters meeting with the neighbors, but do you require notice to abutters for that meeting as well?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so.
No,
It's
no.
just the
It's just
liquor
a-
Okay, just that needs the
yeah,
ad.
It'll be on our agenda, and that announces it, but
Okay,
it's just here.
okay,
But take Dave's advice and,
Yeah.
do the little town thing and invite the
absolutely.
neighbors over.
Yeah, okay.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes?
yep. Thanks for coming.
Could I ask one more question before I
Sure,
go?
yeah.
If I wanted to get a copy of the entertainment license for the Mount and Miraval and Seven Hills, where would I get it?
Right here.
Thank you so much. You don't have to call me, I can figure it out on my own.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No, all that's public information.
I know which office.
Yes,
You don't.
it's the exact same, just the owner.
Okay, so with all that being said, our next regular meeting is going to be November 1st.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you
care.
for coming.
Come up if you want.
I need a drink.
Say hi to Kathy for me.
Thank you.
So is there any new or old business anybody wants to discuss?
I'm good.
Go ahead. I would move to confirm the appointment of Jason Berger to the Historic District Commission.
I thought it was already on it.
I don't know, it's already.
Reappointment, okay. Oh, it's one of the reappointments, okay, yeah. Is there a second on that?
Second?
Any discussion? He's been on it before, he's been a great member, so I'd endorse it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep, all those in favor?
Aye.
Was that what you had?
Haven't
Is
always
that- That's what
agreed.
you had?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
Okay.
Haven't always agreed with his decisions, but
Yeah, a good guy. Yeah. All right, so our next meeting will be November 1st, and I'll just entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Those in favor?
Second? Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you.